Hi all. This is the syllabus that we are going to discuss. And in this session, only the first half portion is discussing. That means railway engineering. In railway engineering, the component parts of railway track, their functions and requirements. Only this much is discussing in the first session. And you all know that railway engineering is a part that comes under the transportation engineering. So let's start. What is a railway track? Or here you can see railway track or permanent way. What is this permanent way? It is the technical term that we use to call the railway track. And what is it? Let's have the definition, please. The combination of rails fitted on sleepers with the help of fixtures and fastenings and resting on ballast and subgrade is called the railway track or permanent way. That means rails, sleepers, fixtures, fastenings, ballast and subgrade. All these words are written in the green color. Why it is written in green color? Nothing, because only one thing, all these materials or all these things contribute to make a railway track. So let's know what is this rails, sleepers, fixtures and fastenings, ballast, subgrade, etc. Rails. What is the function of this rail? It provides a continuous and level surface for train movement. Also, it provides lateral guidance to the train wheels, and also it bears the wheel loads. In this figure, the longitudinal member is known as the rails. As in the figure you can see, it provides a leveled surface, also a continuous surface. Okay, that is a major function of the rail. And also the train wheels come on these rails, and the load is directly transferred from the train to the rails. So it bears the wheel load, at the same time it provides the lateral guidance to the train wheels. So you know this rails now. The next one, it is sleepers or ties. What is the function of the sleepers or ties? It holds rails in correct alignment and spacing. In correct alignment and spacing. What does this alignment means? In transportation engineering, whether in the case of highway or in the case of railway, the track alignment is very important. Okay, so in the sleepers hold the rails in correct alignment and spacing. Also, it provides firm and even support to rails and transfer load to a wider area of the ballast. So in this figure, the horizontal members provided below the longitudinal member, that is the rails, is termed as sleepers. Or the horizontal members that is provided in between a pair of rails is termed as what? Sleepers. The next one, it is ballast. What is this ballast? We usually used to say like ballast cushion. Ballast cushion means it is the coarse aggregate. Just coarse aggregate that is provided to hold the sleepers. And also it transfer and distribute loads to subgrade. Also it helps in the proper draining of water. In this figure, you can see the ballast cushion below the sleepers, the aggregates. The next one, formation or subgrade. Formation or subgrade means what? It is simply the soil below the sleeper and ballast. where it is the bed that is that we have prepared initially for laying the railway track. Clear? Okay, formation or subgrade, it is the base of the railway track, and above which we provide ballast, then sleepers and rails. And in this fixtures and fastenings, what is this fixtures and fastenings? These are the fittings or arrangements provided to connect the rails to the sleepers or rails to rail. The fittings or joints that in this figure you can see there is a connection in between the rail and the sleeper, and that connecting thing is termed as what? Fixtures or fastenings. Clear? So these are the components of railway track, that is rails, sleepers, fixtures, fastenings, ballast and subgrade. So this is the typical cross section of the railway track, and in this you can see the different layers. That is, initially you can see the rails, below that the sleepers, and below that this ballast, and at the bottom there is the subgrade or the soil. Again another figure showing each components of railway track. It is rail, sleepers, fasteners or fixtures and ballast. Let's have a look on the various components individually. These are the rails. Rails means based on the shape and all. There are different types of rails that we will discuss in another session. And the next one, it is sleepers. Sleepers means what? Sleepers means it is the horizontal members, and sleepers are also of different types based on the materials. In this figure, the white color means it's the concrete sleeper. Below figure shows a sleeper of wooden sleeper. This is another figure showing the ballast cushion. And this is the typical track structure, and this is a sectional view. At bottom, formation width is there. Above formation width, there is ballast base. The formation means it is the natural subgrade itself. And then the yellow color shows the sleeper. Then fastenings is also mentioned in this figure. Fastening means the materials or the instruments that we are using to connect the rails to the sleepers. It is also shown there. And the red color shows the rails, and above the rails the wheels are shown. The blue color indicates the wheels of the train, and the G means what? There an alphabet G is shown. What is this? G means gauge. Gauge means it is the central distance between the rails. Okay, you can see in the figure the inner distance. The inner distance between the two rails is termed as what? Gauge. That is called gauge length or gauge. And based on the width of the railway track, the gauges are of different types. And in India, we are using BG track widely. BG means broad gauge. Okay, there are basically three types of gauges are available: BG, MG, meter gauge, and narrow gauge, that we will discuss in the another session. Just this G. Okay, G means it is a gauge. So these are the various component parts of a railway track, and this is the typical cross section. And hope you all have understood what I have taught today. Okay, thank you.